For this video, we're going to go over the Korg Electribe, and we're going to talk about duplicating a bar to the other bars, and we're also going to go over pattern chaining. So before we begin, if we press sequencer, we're going to be in that sequencer mode. Over here, we're going to see the blue light indicates what bar we're going to be listening to. The red indicates what bar we're looking at. And a bar, obviously, is just 16 steps, so there's 4 of them. Okay, so, and it's different. Just remember, if we press keyboard, the blue light's still going to function. It's going to be pointing at the bar we're listening to, whereas the red light will indicate the octave we're in. So if you ever are wondering why you can't look at the bar, it's because you're in keyboard mode. So let's make sure we're in sequencer mode. Now on press play, say I'd already set up some hi-hats. So I'm going to go sequencer and press this, which is, according to our trigger, it's our kick drum. So I'm going to just make some beats here, and I'm going to go, and that's our snare, so I'm going to sequence some hits right here. I'll press play, and I want that to go on for 4 bars because let's say we'll have like a synth line that's that long. So all you have to do, you can either go through the menu or you can press shift and then this pad right here. It's the second from the top here. And the screen will say length. Right now it says length 1. You can change it to 2, 3, or 4. We're going to obviously choose 4. So what I'm going to do, let's just take a look here. We're looking currently at the kick drum. So this is the sequence that we're looking at. We can confirm all of these bars are identical. So let's say we wanted to add a snare hit on bar 3. So let's just add one right here, and let's hear how it sounds. Okay, so we can do variations with the drums, and also we're going to go in here and do some synth. So now we're just going to press record, and then I'm going to press a note and just play some notes in for 4 bars. Okay, let's say I like that. So let's press right, okay? It's going to blink. And then it'll show on the screen, it'll say select destination. Right now we're on my initialized pattern 1. So what I'm going to do is turn this knob and I'm going to save it over pattern 2. And once I'm sure of that, I'm going to just press right, and there it goes. It just saved it. So now we're actually on pattern 2, okay? So what I want to do then, I want to copy this whole part, okay, to a different pattern and then chain them together. And I want the second pattern to have a different synth note. So what I'm going to do is press right again. I'm going to duplicate that one over to pattern 3. It's going to overwrite that. So I'm going to press right again. It'll say working, and then it's confirmed. So now what I'm going to do, since I have this synth on a mono mode, like if I play this, it's just going to replace it with my note that I'm playing. I'm just going to press record, and then I'm going to start playing. Okay, I only wanted that 2 bars for this one. So we're going to go shift length 2, and then let's play it. And you'll see it's just 2 bars. Okay, before we do anything, I'm going to save this, what I just did. Now when you're chaining patterns, you always want to save the pattern. If you don't do this, you're going to lose it when you switch to the other pattern. Okay, so we're now looking at pattern 3 here. I'm going to go over to pattern 2. Now what you have to do is press menu, and then you have to move to number 14. It'll say chain 2. And then it says off right now, but we want to chain it to pattern 3. And then we want to press this arrow over Now it says chain repeat, and this just means how many times you want it to repeat before it goes to that next pattern. And that's all you have to do. Press exit. And now we'll see 002 to 003. If I press play, what I want to do is chain this. What we can do is set it to a loop. So if I chain it to 2 again, I'll make that repeat 1 time, and we'll exit, and we have to write, make sure we save that. So make sure you save, because if you don't, it's not going to save the chain, and then it'll switch to the next pattern, and then if you switch back to it, it's going to show that it won't be there. If you're trying to duplicate the first bar, let's say you extend the length here to 4, and you create, let's say, just a drum beat, and then you want that to be duplicated, but you had already set the length to 4. If you switch the other bars, it's empty because we added the notes after we changed the length. So all you have to do is go back to length 1. Okay? Now let's go back to length 4. Let's check it. Nothing. So we're wondering, why is this not copying? We're actually going to go to the hi-hat here because I have the hi-hat notes playing on all the bars. That's why it's not copying, because it has to be blank. So I'm going through those bars to erase it. Now what I'm going to do is go back to length 1. And then I'm going to go to length 4. I'm going to go to these different bars, and we can go to the kick drum. You can see it copied it. So if you're having an issue trying to duplicate the bar, make sure it's not playing any notes in any of the other bars, because otherwise it'll preserve it.